Because of COPPA laws, if you're under the age of 18, please stop watching this video. It's not intended for you. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Sherry, Lake Girl, Beach Girl, Craft Girl, and I have a really fun project share to show you today. I decided to participate in the Espresso Yourself Swap hosted by Natty's Creations. Hey girl, hope you're doing great. She has a great channel. I really like to watch it, so I hope you would think about subscribing to her channel. But it was a coffee swap, and I actually was inspired by these. So this is the second version that Dollar Tree has had, these cute little coffee gnome stickers. They were a little different last year. I really like this year's version also, and I just thought they were really cute. I don't know if gnomes are still on trend. It seems like you still see them around. It seems like people got away from them for a little while, but I love the gnomes for fall. I love the little pumpkin, the hot chocolate and cookies, the little almost faux Starbucks cup. But so I was really inspired by these. So I actually decided to do a fall gnome and coffee kind of theme. So the other thing that I found, and I embellished this a bit, this was from Dollar General. So it was a little gnome, and he has a little fall gnome, and he has pumpkins around, and I actually stuck a little coffee cup on here and put a bunch of just ribbon on it and just made kind of a fun little, almost a wand, but not really. So I just wanted to follow this up, and I'm gonna wrap it up with my swap and put it on the top. So those were kind of my inspirations. We had to make a memory Dex. So this is mine. I really like how she turned out. Let me zoom in a little bit, pull it a little bit closer. So I stamped a little girl gnome, and then I put a coffee cup on it, some pumpkins. Some of these leaves I cut apart. It's a trim from Hobby Lobby, and it comes like on a vine. So I cut those apart. I just wanted it to have a lot of texture. And I found some little mushrooms. These were in the teacher section of Hobby Lobby. They had a gnome on them, but they were so big, I actually cut them down. I really liked how the mushrooms worked with the little gnome and the giant coffee cup and the giant snail. I put some glossy accents on this so it looked a little more slimy and slick. And then this is a pick, again, from Hobby Lobby, this pumpkin is. So I kind of slid the stick in and then glittered up the stem. So I really like how this memory Dex turned out. I still have to do the back of it, but we were supposed to put our favorite coffee, and I will say that Starbucks is probably my favorite coffee, but I am also a very sweet coffee girl. So my funny coffee story is I only started drinking coffee a few years ago. I was originally born in Seattle, Washington. Hey family, a lot of my family still lives there in the greater Seattle area, around Seattle and that part of Washington state. So they all find it hysterical, because that's really the home of Starbucks, that I don't drink coffee at all and didn't for most of my life. But I've become a convert. I really like the sweeteners, the skinny girl sweeteners that you pour in, and then I like mine really creamy. So it almost looks more like chocolate milk by the time I'm done with it. But that's really the coffee I like. Pumpkin, and I did kind of a pumpkin spice theme. Pumpkin spice is my favorite brand of favorite type of coffee. I love anything pumpkin spice anyway. And cups per day, well, that really depends. I really like my coffee more cold than hot, so I probably drink a couple big tumblers, probably 2 big tumblers of iced coffee during the day. Probably a lot of coffee, but hey, it gets me going, right? I also found these from Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance when I found them, but I just thought they were cute. I'm gonna embellish up the top a little bit more, but this is where I have all of my goodies. So we were supposed to do a hi friend card. So let me pull that off to the side, and I'll show you things one at a time. I'm actually gonna pull out the card so you can see it a little bit better. So sorry for the crinkling here. But let me pull this out. This is my hi friend card. So I used one of the stickers from this collection on the card, and then I stamped "but first coffee" on here. I have an embossing folder, so I had a lot of fun embossing this, and then I used, believe it or not, Crayola makes kind of these adult crayons, and this was actually crayon, but I really like how it turned out and the texture that it gave it. And then I did some, those little fingerprint foam things. Hold on, let me go grab one so I can show you. Okay, I actually don't know what these things are called, but they're the little foam things that you can use with your ink then, and I actually kind of just went over the top in some different spots and inked up the different color of leaves to kind of coordinate. I die cut, I have a punch that punches out a bunch of leaves, so I die cut the edge and then punched a bunch of leaves out. And then on the inside, I have just a cute little die cut coffee cup. Again, this is just kind of that glistening crayon on the top. And I've not used crayons very much in my paper crafting, but man, I really like how they're turning out. So I might be getting a box of the old Crayolas and seeing how that works with my paper crafting. I also took the envelope. Let me pull it out of the container. I like to embellish the envelope just a little bit. I will say it, I really love stamping, so I'm mostly a stamper, but I have a lot of embossing folders, so I embossed the back of the envelope. Now the problem I've had is, you can almost see this, it almost tears the envelope a little bit, so I'm probably going to line the inside of this just so it's a little more sturdy. But and then I had to go over and ink it, but when you have real thin paper going through an embossing folder, it can crack it a little bit and almost make the paper too flimsy, so you have to be careful when you do that on an envelope. So that's just my tip there. All right, let's see what else is in the box. Oh, we also had to make some gift bag toppers. So I found these fun little bags at the Dollar Tree, or not Dollar Tree, at Hobby Lobby. They say give thanks, and they're really to put silverware in, but I thought these would make the cutest little gift bags. So this is what I did. I made a bag topper. This is actually what the bag topper looks like. It was just a shape that I had. I die cut, folded it in the middle, did 2 layers, and then these little sunflowers were in the gift tag section at Hobby Lobby, and you actually unstick this. I didn't want to do it because of shipping. I wanted it flat, but then you go like that, and isn't that cute? Look at how 3-dimensional that is. Can you see how that sits up? I love that so much. And then I had these little pumpkins. It's the same as this. It's actually, let me see if I can show you. The pumpkin is on a stick. Oh, I can't show you, but these pumpkins come on a stick. I took it off the stick. I made these sunflowers. I'll have another video showing you those coming up. And I die cut a leaf, and then I stuck it on a clothespin with some hot glue. So this is actually what would keep my bag topper shut. You'd have to actually move it that way because the person that was using this would unstick this and stick it right there. And then I put a couple dangles on here, and I really like how the dangle turned out. I at first had these all together on the little ring, but I decided I really wanted kind of different levels of this hanging, and the way I accomplished that was with just a little piece of chain. So I often go to thrift stores and buy old jewelry necklaces, and that's really the cheapest way to buy chain, because chain can be kind of pricey in the thrift store or in a craft store. So if you just go to, your thrift shop and look for, cheap old necklaces that they're getting rid of for like $1 or $2, that's a great way to buy a whole lot of chain, really inexpensive. So that's my tip on that one. So I made 2, we only had to make 1, but I made 2 bag toppers, and I really love how those turned out. Another thing we were supposed to do was Crafter's Choice, and I love making embellishments. Yeah, I probably need to take them out of this bag. So I made coffee cup embellishments, and these actually took a ton of time because I was very detailed on how I wanted these to look. But I did coffee cup embellishments and more sunflowers. So these coffee cups I layered up. They're pretty dimensional. I don't know if you can tell, but they're pretty dimensional. And then they have a lot of little flowers. So putting all the little detailed flowers and the little diamond dots on there took quite a bit of time. But I do love how all of these turned out. I made some like the pumpkin. I tried to stick more like brown and orange tones for like my pumpkin spice theme. But these, I did some with the whipped cream on top, some with the dome on top, and then I kind of made them really fall by putting all the leaves on there. So if you're looking to do a fall themed share or project, get out your coffee cup dies, because this was really fun. I would have never thought of putting fall and coffee together, but it worked really well. Okay, what else do I have? We had to make another thing that I just wanted to include because I just love doing these. I found these little adorable gnome spoons. So I just tied it on to the little tube of, I gave some glitter and some sequin mix. I'm trying to think of the word, sequin mix. So I washi taped it on there, and then I did some more dangling. So I love to do wire wrapping, and I just have a lot of beads, and I loved how this turned out. So yeah, he looked pretty good, I thought, and I really like how this mix turned out. I tried to make it very orange and gold. So that's going to be kind of another little, that's actually a little extra above and beyond the swap. We were also supposed to do, let me open this next package just so you can see. We were also supposed to do some shakers. So I stuck still with the coffee theme. Now I will tell you, I am not a big fan of making shakers. I don't know why, I just really don't like doing them. But I am happy with how these turned out. So I did more of kind of an orange pumpkin-y in the bottom, white on the top. I stuck a bunch of flowers on them, and they do shake. I'm not going to shake them on the camera because it drives me nuts when people do that. It makes my eyes go berserk when I'm watching, so I won't do that for you. But I'm pretty happy with how these shakers turned out. I do my shakers with lots and lots and lots of layers, and I cut this all out of paper instead of using foam. I think that's probably the hard way to do it, and there's probably an easier way, but I do think they feel more sturdy this way, and maybe have a little bit of more longevity when you do it like that. Oh, another embellishment that I did, and again, I'm going to open a package just here for a second. Another embellishment I did to go along with the coffee is I think coffee and donuts go well together. So I made all of these fun itty bitty donuts. So I did glossy accents on the top so they actually look iced, but I did them and I popped up them in a couple different layers. So we have the donuts, the ones that more of a bun, more little coffee cups. These were just a tiny die cut, but what I did for the first time to give them to somebody is I did a little gold marker paint on the handle and on the bottom, and I just thought that really looked so much better than just giving them plain. And then I have the donut that's half iced too. So those are really fun to make. It took a lot, believe it or not, it actually took a long time to make these because they're so small, but I think that they'll be really versatile for the people I'm sending them to. We also had to do a whole bunch of die cuts, so I put mine all in a bag. I'm not going to pull those out, so those will be kind of a surprise, but it is a chunky bit of die cuts. We only really had to do 6, but I love to spoil my swap partners. And I really liked these Ziploc bags. These, again, were from Hobby Lobby. I got these, you know, I think that's 40% off right now. So for fall, and they have little gnomes and pumpkins. So perfect for my little swap theme. Okay, next thing, I ordered this die off of Temu. I'm really happy with how the die cuts, and so I cut some, and I'm actually gifting the die to my swap partners too. I think it'll be great for fall, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, so in all the next month coming up, I think this is a really good die, and it was really inexpensive. I want to say it was around a couple bucks. So we were supposed to share a $5 gift. This will be part of it. And I am so excited to show you my last but not least. Look at this adorable little sweetheart. So my Nomi Homie, my fall Nomi Homie pumpkin spice theme. This was a gnome I bought at Dollar General, and it was a totally different color. It was actually for spring, and I really didn't like the painting. I really didn't like how it looked. So I actually repainted the entire thing. I repainted the little body so he was brown. I repainted the hat. I repainted some of the hair and the boots. I made them more shiny. I repainted the wreath was green, but it had some weird flowers on it. So I painted the flowers in fall and put little gold dots on them. So I am pretty thrilled with how my little Nomi Homie turned out. And I couldn't find 3 that were exactly the same. So one of them is slightly different. It's more of a welcome kind of gnome, but this is my fall themed pumpkin spice coffee share. I hope you liked it. I want to say thank you so much to all of my subscribers. I haven't made many videos lately because I was traveling and doing some other things, but I reached 100. So here's my heart. Thank you so much. You guys mean everything to me. I really love that you're subscribing and watching my channel. It really inspires me to keep making videos and showing you what I'm working on. So with that said, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a great day. Craft on, friends.